Hey everybody, Joel Pirate here. Welcome back to the Pirate Academy server. I gotta be careful where I'm looking. I don't want to look at one of these ladies. Pardon me, got the burps. How are y'all doing? If you follow me on the Twitters, and I hope that you do, you may have heard how my St. Patrick's Day went. And by the way, we're here on the Pirate Academy server working away in the end as we do, or as I have been doing the last few days. How was your St. Patrick's Day? Please let me know down in the comments how your St. Patrick's Day was. Did you celebrate at all? Did you not celebrate at all? What is your traditional Irish Thanksgiving shit, St. Patrick's Day celebration? I would like to know what other people do. Generally, I sit around the house and I drink a bunch of beer and I don't pretend to be Irish at all. I leave that to my wife. She is Irish, 50% Irish, as a matter of fact. So she's big into it. She doesn't really drink a lot, but you know, she still has a beer or two. I decided I wanted to have the most expensive St. Patrick's Day ever when I woke up. So about 4 hours after I woke up, I started having chest pains. I was getting really shaky. No headache or no shortness of breath, none of that stuff, but I was getting really shaky. I was starting to get a little bit weak, and the chest pains never actually went away. After about 45 minutes of that, I said to myself, "Self, there's something seriously wrong with you. We think you're having a heart attack." Now, if you follow me on the Twitter, you might have noticed that film actor and director, producer, etc. Kevin Smith is a huge influence of mine. I like his movies. I like the work he does. I listen to almost all of his podcasts. Big fan. That man had a massive heart attack about 2 weeks ago, so it has been foremost on my mind. Because we are like a year apart in age, and we are similar body types. You know, we're both obese, and I have been since I have been taking care of myself in the last year. I have done that. I quit smoking. January of 2017, January 8th, by the way, Elvis's birthday. That was the first day of my cigarette sobriety. So, you know, I got that going for me. I did lose 50 pounds last year, of which I gained back about 15, you know, so but I could be in better shape, you know. I do work out. You know, in the summer months, I do lots of walking and bike riding. Just this winter, I joined a gym back in October, and I kept that up for, I don't know, 2 or 3 months. I stopped it in January because I was doing a lot of overtime at work and just didn't have the time to go to the gym, so I didn't see the point in spending the $20 a month for the membership. So what I ended up doing was getting an exercise bike for $100, and I plopped that in my son's old room, the boy. Plop that in there, and I ride that thing 3-4 times a week, you know, for 15-20 minutes, half hour sometimes. It just depends on how long it takes me to get into or through a video of someone that I watch on YouTube, and I do watch quite a few. So I usually would queue up a Sig Corpse video, or a Jick 317 video, or Zoom Avoid, or Mumbo Jumbo, or somebody, you know. I'll queue that up, and then I'll sit and ride the bike until I'm done. So I am not a stranger to health and or fitness. Hey, we're almost there. Let's see, where else can I go? Where is the exit? The exit is over here. So yeah, it's not like I have been a stranger to health and or fitness in the last few years, but for the first 46 years of my life, I did not take care of myself. So I was worried that maybe things were starting to catch up with me. So I looked at my wife and I said, hey, I don't mean to alarm you, but would you please go out and get your car warmed up? I need you to take me to the hospital. And she, of course, got the worried look on her face because that's what wives do. Actually, no, that's what loving spouses do. They care for each other, and they are worried when a hospital is mentioned. So, actually, I ended up getting my coat on and my shoes on, and I could have called an ambulance, but screw that. I live in the United States. Healthcare is expensive. So I was like, you know what? I'm still walking. I'll just get up and do it myself. So, I decided we were going to drive to the hospital. So I went out and I started the car and I brushed the snow off of it because I live in Iowa and it snowed this morning. So she finally came outside. Ooh, excuse me, got the burps again. I've been drinking bubbly drinks since I got home. We'll get to that part. So go to the hospital, and I start walking in, and I'm still really shaky and lightheaded and all this stuff going on. I just tell her, I was like, you know what, just pull up to the emergency room door. I will go in and tell them what's going on while you park the car, because I don't want to wait and all that. So, yeah, I walk in, and almost immediately upon walking in the door, I get super shaky and super lightheaded. And I even cut in front of some other poor bastard. I think he had a broken arm, but I cut in front of him. I said, I think I'm having a heart attack. And they're like, oh, okay. literally, that was the attitude. Oh, okay. Well, let me get your information, and we'll grab you a wheelchair. And they were real super calm about it. And I think that may be standard operating procedure. They want to keep the person calm, which would make sense to me. You don't want to be like, oh, holy crap, you're going to have a heart attack. We got to rush you in and blah, blah, blah. And get the person's, heart rate elevated and all that. So I think that may be standard operating procedure. Am I losing? I'm not even picking shit up anymore. Was it just those 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. It was. I'll be damned. Okay, we'll go back. Oh, no, it was way more than the 4. Okay, that's okay. We'll come back for those. So they run me into the, they eventually, after they photocopy my driver's license and insurance card, I couldn't even take them out of my wallet. My hands were shaking so bad, but the ladies behind the counter took care of it, and that's cool. They did all that and then wheeled me back, hooked me up to all the monitors. I had more wires coming out of me than a 2000 Chevy, and they stuck a needle in my left arm and started taking blood and all this stuff just to check things. Anyway, long story short, well, you know what? We got time for a long story because we're only 8 minutes in right now. By the way, how damn good does this place look with all the purple going on, right? Am I right? This is looking beautiful. I am enjoying this considerably. I need to put some more purple along here. So from one right there, and then I want to go across to this area. In fact, I may move these torches. Yeah, and then we can run purple from just all the way across here. That way, when you come up the ramp and you want to go that way, you don't accidentally cut over here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh, did I get the obsidian? Hold on, please. Bear with me here while I break from the story to check something. Yes, I grabbed the obsidian. Okay. I have been collecting the obsidian every single time I come through the portal because, I've been using it. Now, one thing I did on an old single-player world of mine was I went through and I hollowed these guys out. Just left the outer shell. And I got crap tons of obsidian there, especially from big honking sons of bitches like this. These, what is this, 9 wide? Yeah, 9 wide. You can get a bunch of obsidian out of those guys. And they're like a stack tall almost. So yeah, there's that. But I have been working away over here at the entrance to my new base. You may remember this from the last episode. And if you didn't watch the last episode, what the hell are you doing? Go back and watch the last episode. And then come back to this one. So I got the entrance to this thing all worked out. And it's going to be pretty much the same thing. So the 2 blocks, with the purple slab, but I'm not going to use obsidian on this one. I'm just using the regular endstone, and I'm okay with that. I may use obsidian on the edges. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something different. What the hell was Annoying. Anyway, back to our original story there. So I had they hooked me up to all the machines and everything, and they boy, I lost my train of thought. Train of thought derailed. No, they took the blood. The reason they were taking the blood was because I guess there's a chemical that your heart gives off when it is damaged. And they didn't find any of that. And they're like, well, you got here really quick. You know, within the first hour, 45 minutes, they said it may not show up for a while. So we're going to keep you at the very least another 3 hours. And then we'll take your blood again and check it again to see, you know, what's going on. The EKG was perfect, absolutely fine. A young lady came in and took a chest x-ray. They were checking for a blockage in one of my arteries. That was negative. I didn't ask the doctor because, you know, there's like varying degrees of blockage. Like it could be like 75% blocked or 85% blocked or whatever. I forgot to ask, but I'm going to do that when I go to the cardiologist this next week. Excuse me while I have my tasty adult beverage. And yeah, you're probably going to yell at me for tasty adult beverage, but you know what? You're not my wife. I already got enough from her. And I will explain it. Anyway, so they you know, they're doing all these tests and they're going through all this stuff. Meanwhile, the tightness in my chest is still going on. Cannot figure out what the hell's going on. They've got me hooked to all the monitors, of course. The blood pressure is still really high. And I'm freaking myself out. Basically, I'm having... Shut up, dog. I'm talking to the people. I'm freaking myself out. I'm in tears because I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die. And these people don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Well, eventually, the doctor, he was real cool, real smooth, sultry voice. The kind of voice you want to hear, you know, when, you know... Yeah, I bet his wife really enjoys the doctor voice. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, he was real cool, real calm, and I'm like, you know what? I need to calm down. I remember Kevin Smith talking on when he was talking about his heart attack, he said that he was really calm through the whole thing. And the doctors were all like, that's good, because you don't want to elevate your heart rate and make it even worse. So yeah, I was really calm, or I started to get calm, and eventually my numbers start coming down. I got well enough that I asked my wife for my phone. I'm like, you know what, I need to tweet this out, and so I tweeted a few things. Pardon me. And I Facebooked my friends and families, let them know what's going on. I'm like, you know what, I'm not dead, so it's all good, but just to let you know what's going on. You know, immediately we told my son, because, you know, that's the way it is. And I think my wife secretly told my brother, and that's cool. I just didn't want to worry him. Dude had to work today, so, you know, I didn't want this to be on his mind. But yeah, so we're sitting there, and, you know, and I'm playing games on my phone, and I'm reading the news and things like this, and all the while, you know, still tightness in my chest. Doctor comes in, he's like, hey, we checked out your x-ray. Everything looks great there. He says, you know, I don't see any blockage. He goes, but I do see something that potentially looks like walking pneumonia. So we're going to have you do a breathing treatment and see if that doesn't improve the tightness in your chest. I was like, well, could it have anything to do with me being a smoker for 30 years? And he goes, no, not really. He goes, this doesn't look like that. He says, as far as that goes, your lungs look great. So don't worry about that. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. So either he was really telling me to just be cool and calm and not worry about crap, or there really is no damage, and, you know, my lungs look great after 30 years of smoking, which I would be very happy about, because that was the dumbest damn thing I ever did in my entire life, and I really encourage anybody who is a smoker to just quit. You will feel so much better about life in general. So yeah, anyway, the 3 hours goes by, and we're almost at noon here now, on St. Patrick's Day. And they come in and they're like, okay, so now we're going to take this last bit of blood. And if this comes back negative for that chemical that your heart gives out when it's damaged, if this comes out negative, we're going to send you home. You know, of course, yeah, you're going to have to come back and see the cardiologist. Oh, by the way, they also gave me a nitro pill. Did not like that whatsoever. It is a, well, it's nitroglycerin, you know, the shit that goes boom, blows up real good. But anyway, in pill form, you know, it opens up capillaries and you know, things like that, so that your blood can flow better. Now it does give you a headache, and yeah, it gave me a hell of a headache. So anyway, I'm sitting there this 3 hours fighting off a headache, but they gave me an aspirin because, you know, aspirin. That's what you give to people with a heart problem. But it's a blood thinner, so you know that's a good thing. Which is what you want, because then the blood flows better. And, you know, it helps out my blood pressure, which was high still at this point. But by the 3 hour mark, my blood pressure had come down to a very normal level. Very normal, especially for me, which I was fighting high blood pressure for many years. And then I lost a stressful job and got really good job, and so my blood pressure has been very good lately, especially after quitting smoking and losing, you know, 35 fucking pounds. Doctor, he was even, you know, at first he was kind of busting my balls because I took myself off my blood pressure medication. But then once he saw my real numbers, he's like, okay, I can see why you did that. You know, it's pretty good for a, you know, a fat guy, you know, ex-smoker, drinks too much, shit like that. But, so they did the second blood test, and everything comes out fine. You know, they're like, nope, there is zero. There is zero of this chemical in your bloodstream. You did not have a heart attack. You did not damage your heart in any way. I'm like, so what is going on? They're like, well, we don't know. So you're going to go to the cardiologist. You're going to do a stress test where they run you on a treadmill. I don't like running, but I'll do it because, you know what? At this point, I really want to know what the hell's going on. I don't want to feel like this. What it feels like is, I don't know if you've ever gotten in a fight. Let's put it this way. If you've ever gotten in a fight and you get this really kind of a tight feeling in your chest, and maybe in the back of your throat, and you could feel your heart beating in your throat, and you're just jazzed up and you're shaking and you're like, oh, this shit's going down. That's what this feels like. That's what this felt like the entire time. And I'm still feeling it. Now, I have been home at this point. You're probably amazed at this, by the way. At this point, I have been home for about 3 hours. The first thing I did was I had promised my wife a St. Patrick's Day dinner today. So that was the first thing we did. And as soon as we got home, we started cooking dinner. I made her vegan spaghetti and meatballs. They're vegan meatballs. Get them in the store. They're really good, by the way. And I made it with tomato. I made my own sauce because, you know, that's the way I do shit. Now, get this. I had gluten-free noodles because I actually like the brown rice gluten-free spaghetti noodles, but I did have French bread. Lots of gluten. Which I turned into garlic bread with, you know, vegan butter and garlic. And I also threw some nutritional yeast on there because that shit is tasty. I don't care what anybody says. It's kind of a cheesy, salty flavor. It's really, really good. You should try it. Throw a jug of that on your on the table. Get rid of your salt shakers and get nutritional yeast because it's way better and better for you. Lots of vitamin B things, and they're like a B2 and B6s and all kinds of B vitamins. They're really good for you. But yeah, I made her that, and then this is the kicker. Roasted asparagus, just a tiny bit of olive oil, little salt, little pepper, actually a lot of pepper, because black pepper is actually really good for you, but just a little salt for taste. Roasted that at 350 for about 10 minutes, and then threw it under the broiler at 500 degrees for about another 5 minutes or so. Basically, just turn the oven, shut the oven off at 350, turn the broiler on at 500, and by the time the broiler got up to 500, it was done. That shit was so good. Oh, my God. I love vegetables. Ever since switching to a vegan diet, I love it. And yes, I am still going to go ahead with the potato famine that I was talking about in the last video. That starts tomorrow. I am doing that, which is why we had to do the spaghetti today, because we got to get that stuff cooked and eaten and out of the house. And the missus is home from the store getting my aspirin and Tums because I'm still thinking there's an indigestion thing going on. So yeah, that is the thing. You know what? The whole time I was like, man, it feels like I need to burp. That's what it feels like. The whole damn time it felt like I needed to burp. It still does, by the way, which is why I still feel this way. I'm pretty sure of it. Anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been home literally less than 3 hours, and here I am playing Minecraft. I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy when I left because I was psyching myself up. I was going to go watch. I had tickets already bought to go watch Black Panther at 11. I didn't get to go see Black Panther, so now I'm going to reschedule it. Maybe next weekend. I've got to see this movie, but it's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be anytime this week because, again, I've got to go to the cardiologist and I got to do the stupid stress test. I shouldn't say stupid stress test because I really want to know what's going on. I want to know so much what's going on. Before any of this happened yesterday, I made an appointment in April, Friday the 13th, go figure. I'm going to go have a physical because I want to know what kind of shape I'm in. And I'm thinking, I do the potato famine for 2 weeks, and then I really hit the vegetables hardcore. Maybe in a month I'll be down 30 pounds, hopefully. It would be great. I'm not going to count on that. But, I'll take what I can get. Even if it's 10 or 15, that's great. I want to know what's going on. And I you know what? I'm 46 years old. Is 46? 46. Ooh, excuse me. I am 46 years old. This is not going to be a pleasant physical. There are going to be doctoral digits shoved into orifices in my body that I'm not looking forward to. There may be even a video camera involved. By the way, I'm not posting that video on YouTube. And I doubt the doctor will either. This is not going to be a pleasant thing. Bing! Thank you, by the way, all of you who do follow me on the Twitters and have thrown out your support and love and all that stuff. Thank you very much. There's been so many of you, and my Twitter has just blown up today, and I love it. Thank you. It makes me feel really, really good. It makes me think these last 5 years have not been a complete waste of my time. Which they haven't, because I've had a ball. It's been amazing, and I can't wait to do it for another 5 years. I'm going to outlive all you fuckers, so deal with it, except for the ones who are like 12, in which case I'm sorry for using the word fuckers. Don't use that word. It's a bad word. Well, it's an adult word. I'm not going to say it's bad. It's my favorite word. A-hole's pretty fun, too. Not asshole, but a-hole. I like a-hole. B-hole's pretty fun. So anyway, yeah. That's what's going on with me. Yeah, I still got the tightness in my chest. Still don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe they'll figure it out come the stress test. I hope so. Hopefully it'll just go away after I have a couple Tums and a beer. By the way, the reason I'm drinking beer is because alcohol's a blood thinner. So there, suck it. It's good for my heart. No, the doctor didn't tell me that. That's just my own logical reasoning. I am a student of logic, after all. I am a Star Trek fan, so there is that. Oh, by the way, I am a Star Trek fan, so much so that I have recorded with the folks over at Trek FM yet another podcast on St. Patrick's Day. So go back to my Twitter feed on 3/17, which would be Saturday for you guys watching this on Monday. Go back to my Twitter feed, scroll back through, and I posted out a link to the podcast that we did on Trek FM. It was the Patrons Roundtable, and it was discussing Patrick Stewart for St. Patrick's Day. See? It all makes sense. We had a really good time doing that, and I think I threw in some really great little nuggets if you're a Star Trek fan. And if you are a Star Trek fan, keep staying tuned because as I'm recording this now, which is at 3 o'clock p.m. On Saturday, at 4 p.m., we're recording yet another Patrons Roundtable. I don't know the topic on this one, but as soon as I get the particulars of when that's going to be published, and I will throw out a link on the Twitters if you want to listen to that one as well. And please, by all means, go show some support to Trek FM if you're a Star Trek fan and aren't a fan and aren't subscribed to any of their podcasts. They have a podcast for every show, and even some other shows that, am I out? I'm out. Damn. Hey, that was pretty good. 30 minutes in, well, 25 minutes in, and I used all my my stuff. Nice. Okay, let's pop on through the portal here. And, oh, I wanted to check out, actually, I want to go back through this portal real quick, because I want to take another look at this, the lay of the land over here at New Island. What I was kind of thinking of doing was, oh, Jesus, whew, that will pucker your bunghole. Holy crap. I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you could turn that into a cube? Just a big giant damn cube in space. And then you get rid of all this other crap out here. Maybe even do some water coverage on some of these other islands. You can make your own internal farm, Enderman farm in that. I think that would be cool. But what I really need to do is I'm going to have to make a bridge that goes from this thing to that thing to that thing to that thing and then all the way over to that thing. That's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to have to get some end stone, and yeah, that's the way we're going to have to do this. I may end up having to get my elytra and fly to a place like that and a place like that and either blow them up or just cover them with water so that the ender peoples from my farm over here won't teleport. But yeah, I was thinking about making this a big giant cube, and then, you know, with my house being inside of that cube. I don't know. I think that could be kind of cool. Or I could just leave it the way it is, because that also looks pretty badass. The only problem is there's a lot of places for ender peoples to teleport to. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so let's go back through. Oh my God, I hate the way it throws you on the edge like that. Goodness gracious. Boy, if I didn't have a heart attack before, and if I lived through that, I think my heart's in pretty damn good shape. So, do me a favor, you guys, go get yourselves checked out. Make sure you're in good shape, because I don't want to lose any damn one of you. Also, before I croak, I'm gonna lay the guilt trip on you. Before I croak, hit the like button if you liked, subscribe if you're new, and if you are new, please introduce yourself down below in the comments. I would love to meet you while I'm alive. So yeah, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. I'm still kicking, and I will see you next time. Peace out. Bye.